Okay, slide 3, the new real estate reality. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the new real estate reality. Hey, there's a lot of changes that are taking place here in the marketplace. In 2011 of December, I've seen the market come down since 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, and there's been a lot of good investments. There's been a lot of good homes, great deals. But now I believe in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, we are starting to hit some sort of bottom down here. And there's a lot of investment activity out there. There's a lot of folks that are sitting around with cash. And there's a lot of money coming in to the metropolitan area, as well as other parts of the U.S., from China, from Brazil, from Saudi Arabia. We're no longer in a what used to be a traditional market. It's more of a global market. Okay, and so a lot of these investors that are overseas, that are sitting on a lot of large cash, they're coming in to the U.S. to buy up great properties, which they know they could get for half, if not 30 to 40 cents on the dollar. Okay, so there's a lot of cash, there's a lot of money. So real estate agents need to know and understand how to work with real estate investors in today's real estate market. Okay, so as we talked on slide 2, you have to know your marketplace. You got to show how you are unique and how you are different and why they should work with you. But also, you have to know your trends. You have to know the market, and you have to understand that you cannot make money in the past based on being okay. Slide 3, stop. Slide 3, start again. Okay, so one thing that real estate agents need to understand: the past is the past. But what you can do is you can learn from the past. You could grow from the past. You could adapt from the past experiences and see what the market, and watch the market trends and watch the market historics, and then change and shift and realign your focus with the new normal. Okay, so the way the market took off between 2000 to 2005, 2006, that was not a normal market. That market was man-made. That market was made and created by the government in a lot of ways. So it was nothing but a huge bubble. Okay, so there were a lot of agents that basically all they did is took a listing and they sat back and they got multiple offers in less than 48 hours. So that has totally changed. In today's particular market, in today's particular environment, you have to show your value. You have to create your value. You have to earn your business. You have to show the handful of investors that are out there why they should work with you. Okay, so therefore you have to invest in yourself, which nobody could take away from you. So the more knowledge you have, the more understanding you have of the particular investment deals and opportunities around you, the better you're able to provide the investor package. And what I call a complete investor package is basically where you have found the property, you have analyzed the community and the neighborhood, you've looked at it from a current market value standard, and you've done a CMA, and you've done the after repair value. Okay, and then you could show the investor if it's a long-term hold for cash flow as a rental, or a short-term buy, fix up, and flip to gain $30,000 to $40,000. So you as the investor have to be able to create that investor package with the right due diligence to show the activity in the neighborhood, how many homes are currently for sale, how many have sold, what did they sell for, how long were they on the market, Were they renovated? Or was it a light rehab? Or was it as is condition? So all these different things you have to understand and look at. And then also, when you're looking at properties and doing your CMAs and your analysis, you want to make sure you do apples to apples. Okay? So you got a Colonial and you got a Rambler. Right? So you can't count those two things. You got to look at apples to apples in order for you to be able to do a complete due diligent investor package. Because a lot of investors, they'll see through that. And when you do come to a real estate investor with your investor package, you want to make sure you have all the right information so the investor could look at it quickly and make a fast decision, and therefore the speed of implementation and accuracy, this will create a signature. This is how you're going to get a signature on that contract. This is how you're going to get the investor to sign. Okay, so you have to create the uniqueness, and you have to establish a trust with that investor. Okay, so this is not just, you can't just look at it as one deal. You have to look at it as multiple deals, because that investor is not going to just buy one property. He's going to buy 3, 4, 10, 12, 20, and he's got friends, he's got family members, and they have friends and family members. So why not be the agent that specializes in real estate investments for real estate investors in your local community? You cannot be everything to everyone, and you will never be. So just do what you can and focus in on your area. Okay? And also never overpromise and underdeliver. Always overdeliver and underpromise. Surprise your investors with just the overall delivery to create a win-win relationship. Okay? But the key is to be consistent each time. That is the key. So if you guys haven't read like E-Myth or a book called Good to Great, what they talk about, consistency is the key to success. So you want to make sure that you don't get lazy. You create a system, you create a process, you create the same packet each time. Okay, so be consistent. Okay, people love knowledge. Investors, people love knowledgeable people and people that are experts and that know what they're talking about. And a lot of people will actually pay for that knowledge and for that information and for that experience. So you look at yourself as a person that's a lifelong student that will always be learning and learning and investing and growing, and then you have to create yourself as a expert, as someone that people could trust with that information. Okay, I have so I'll just take a second here to give you a little story. I have actually spent thousands of dollars in the past 10, 12 years with different coaches, with different coaching programs, with different training, with different webinars. I've actually sat through thousands of seminars, hundreds of different webinars, and just over the years, just seeing Zig Ziglar, Anthony Robbins, okay, Tracy, and Les Brown. I've seen these guys go through what I call is their inspirational, their motivational, rah-rah type of speech. The bottom line is you have to apply it, and you have to use it, and you got to make it work for you. So, there is no perfect way, and there is no such thing as perfect. Okay. So what you have is what you have, and you got to be able to work with it, and don't worry about what you don't have. There's a lot of things we don't have, but you cannot allow that to stop you. So talking about the new real estate reality, invest in yourself, be consistent, know the trends, know the market, provide a complete packet to your investor with the proper due diligence of the opportunity at hand, and show them why they should work with you, why should they do business with you, and that's how you're going to be able to create these valuable relationships. One particular relationship could easily turn into 3 and 4 because of their friends and their family members within their inner circle. People share good contractors, people share good travel agents, people share good real estate agents, people share good HVAC guys and plumbers and electricians, because it's a rare commodity. So you want to be able to become that unique person in the investor's mind. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the slide 4, which is coming up. So slide 4. Okay, 1 second. Okay, slide 4. So let's see here. Okay, slide 4, which is key questions we'll answer. Key questions we'll answer. How to put the numbers together. How to present the investor's packet to the investor. How to qualify the investors. How to find the investor. How to market to the investors. How to sell to the investors, and how to sell the investor's property fast, or how to sell the investor's property fast. Okay. Pause and redo slide 4. So slide 4. Key questions we'll answer. Okay, so real estate agents and brokers and investors, here are some of the key questions that will come up and that you need to be prepared for. So number 1, how to put the numbers together for the investment opportunity. How to present the investor's packet to the investor. How to qualify the investor. How to find the investors. How to market to the investors. And how to sell the investor's property fast. Okay, so these are very important areas to cover here. So I'm just going to go into a little bit more conversation for each one of these things. So learn how to put the numbers together for the investors. Okay, we kind of touched on this before, but putting the numbers together for the real estate investor. 1, be accurate. Be very accurate. Again, when you're doing your CMAs, you're looking at colonial, make sure your comps are colonials. When you're looking at ramblers, make sure they're ramblers. If you're looking at raised ranch, make sure they're raised ranch. Now, if you cannot find the same identical property, which does happen, you want to be able to, provide other comparable properties, but make the necessary adjustments. So, for example, let's say your subject property is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, colonial, about 2,200 square feet with a 2-car garage. Okay, built in 2003. Okay, so your comps should be with the similar type of a product. Okay, so then you want to be able to make the adjustments. You want to be able to make the necessary changes. So, for example, let's say your subject property has oil heat. rather than central. And let's say your home has half an acre, whereas the other property has 1 acre. So all these different adjustments, you want to be able to put your numbers together for the investor and explain to the investor why the comps are different and why the CMAs are different, and show them your value. Okay. So how to present the investor packet to the investor. So the way you're going to be able to present the investor packet to the investor is one, of course, you want to have your subject property. You want to have a cover letter. You want to have a brief executive summary of the package on your cover letter in a bullet format, such as like acquisition, 100,000, a rehab cost, 52,000, holding cost, let's just say 13,000 if you're using hard money or private money, and then you have your exit costs. When you are going to sell the property, you have 6% commission, and in this particular market, a lot of the buyers are asking for some sort of contribution from the seller. So you have that. So take all the numbers into consideration, and then give them a very quick, brief analysis of the property with your investor packet, and that should be one of the documents. So they don't have to go through the entire document to get those numbers. You've already, as an agent, have broken those numbers down where they can just look at it really quickly, and if the bottom line makes sense, then the investor will take the time to really get into that packet. All right. So the next thing is how to qualify the investor. Okay, so here's the thing real estate agents have to be careful for. There's a lot of guys out here that are running around saying they are a real estate investor, and that's not really the case. And most of these guys do not have the understanding, and they don't have the respect for the game. So when you're talking to a real estate investor, you want to ask for the proof of funds. You want to look at, see if you can look at their bank statements. You want to see what kind of cash they're working with. You want to see what they've actually done in the past. How many homes have they done? Where have they done the properties? What was their experience? And ask them, why aren't you currently working with that agent that that helped you? Okay, so a lot of these real estate investors are also not investors, if you know what I mean. So you have to qualify the investor, and you have to be able to make sure you, as the real estate agent, are not wasting your time and wasting your energy and wasting your knowledge with the wrong person. Okay, so please qualify all the investors, and don't be ashamed, don't be scared, don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed. Your time is valuable. Your time is a gift, and your knowledge is valuable. So you want to make sure that you are not wasting your time with the wrong type of investors. Okay. So, and how to find investors. Okay, so real estate investors are basically everywhere right now. Okay, so they have the local real estate investment clubs. They're all over the place, and they have the local real estate meetups, and those are starting to pop up more and more. And there's a lot of real estate investor webinars and seminars and LinkedIn groups and Facebook and different things like that. So real estate investors are really all out there. And one of the things a real estate agent can do is to maybe put an ad on Craigslist, say, hey, I am a qualified real estate agent, and here's my background, and here's what I've done, and here's how many people I've helped. Just create a small bio about your experiences, your background, your knowledge, and why you are unique, and why you are different, and why they should work for you. So create an ad like that and put it on Craigslist. Email it to your friends, email it to your family members, email it to your co-workers, Email to everybody. Let them know who you are and what you do and why you are special. And they will come to you. They will come to you. Now, when these real estate investors come to you, then your next thing is to qualify the investor. Make sure the investor is a investor, is not a tire kicker. It's going to be wasting your time and your energy and taking up all this particular knowledge from you and not doing a damn thing with it. Okay. So how to market to the investor? How to market to the investor? So what you want to be able to do is, one thing that works for us and that we've done in the past is get 2 or 3. Let's say you get 2 or 3 properties together. Do your complete investment packet. Do your CMAs, show your current market value, put all the numbers together, put all the information together, and then go to the local real club. Say, hey, I have these 3 real live properties, and I'm looking for a cash buyer today. Now, they have to be moved fast. So you create urgency. You have a live opportunity in your hand that's a real deal. You've already done the due diligence. You've already run the numbers. You already know the community. You already know the school district. You already know everything about the neighborhood. You've done your homework. So when you go to these meetups and these different groups, take the packet of knowledge and information with you and show them your power and why they should work with you as the specialist in the area. Okay, so that's how you market to the investors. Show them, teach them, educate them, and provide your uniqueness. Okay, and then how to sell the investor's property fast. So here's what has worked with me in the past. I've been a real estate investor all my life, and this is all I've pretty much done. I've never been an agent. I have fired a lot of agents, but also I've worked with a lot of good agents. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so how to sell the investor's property. So for example, you as the agent, you find a great deal. You hook up with investor A. He buys the property from you, and it's going to be a 5 to 7 week rehab project. What you want to do is you want to engage yourself into the project. You want to let the investor know that, hey, look, I'm going to be here for you. Let me make a video, week to week progress. Like, here's week 1, here's week 2, here's week 3, here's week 4. You want to show them that you're there, and you start marketing the property. Marketing and creating flyers throughout as the project is going on, to your Craigslist, to your Facebook, your Twitter. You're creating demand. So by the time the investor gets done with the project in week 5, 6, or 7, you will possibly have a qualified buyer already lined up. So what does that do? 1, you're moving the investor's property very fast. 2, you show and create trust in the investor's mind. And 3, it's the movement of money that actually makes money. So what you've done is you've turned the money back to the investor's pocket, and so the investor's able to reinvest again, and you will be the agent that will get his new business and additional business that will come out of the fact that you were able to move the investor's property fast and get the money back to him in a timely manner, so he could go to the next property. Okay. So basically, just to wrap it up again, learn how to sell the property fast, so he gets his money back and gets it back to working in the market again. So the investor could, so therefore the investor could do another deal with you. You should already have deals already lined up to show the investor the next deal, how he could move his money from here to our property B, and then property C and property D. You want to show the investor, here's 3 more deals, here's 2 more deals. Once we sell this property, we'll take the money, we'll put it in this property. We'll take that money, we'll put in this property. So you want to be able to do that for the investor and show the investor upcoming, and create a plan, create a blueprint for your investor, and know your investor. Okay. Okay. And you got to keep in mind that a lot of these real estate investors are somewhat lazy. Okay, we don't like working hard. Most investors don't. They just want to turn their money. They want to turn the money they have from $30,000 to $60,000 to $90,000 to $120,000 to $200,000. So they want to turn their money, but they want to have the right resources and the right manpower and the right people to be able to turn their money. Okay, so that's slide 4, and then now we're gonna go on to slide 5. And slide 5 is, ladies and gentlemen, slide 5. This absolutely will work for you. This absolutely will work for you. That's slide 5. Okay, says a great man, funny man, husband. Pause. Okay, re-record slide 5. This will absolutely work for you. Listen, the bottom line is I've been doing this for years, and I've seen many other investors do this as well. So I've been all over the United States in different training courses, seminars, webinars. Like I said, I've invested thousands of dollars, meeting the very top 1% of the investors. And what I figured out is, having money gives you access to people, and money gives you access to things, and money gives you access to certain environments and events. Okay, so as I've talked to and met with different high-level investors all over the United States, the bottom line is, every investor needs a good real estate agent on their team. Every single investor needs a solid, good real estate agent that has the investor's mind set, that understands the investor's goals, that understands the investor's objectives, that understands the investor's game plan. Okay, so this absolutely will work for you if you do the proper measures, the proper steps, and if you do the what is required, and if you put in the right time and you put in the right energy into creating your investor packet. Where a lot of the agents go wrong is they do not spend the right amount of time, and they do not put professional packets together, so it never becomes a win-win for everybody. So, take the time, invest in you, know your market, create a well thought out packet, and take it out to the meetups and the different real estate investment clubs, and to show them that you are real, to show them that you have real deals, you have real opportunities. All investors are looking for real deals all of the time. So if you do these particular things, ladies and gentlemen, this will absolutely work for you. But you have to do them, and you have to be methodical, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be professional at it. Okay, so this will absolutely work for you guys. Okay, pause. Okay, so slide 6, the modern real estate agent. So here we are in December of 2011. So I have talked to the National Association of Realtors and National Association of Mortgage Brokers, as well as folks over at the RE/MAX, Exit, Keller Williams, all these different places, all over the United States. I've noticed there's a lot more activity that's taking place on the internet with online marketing, with YouTube, with virtual tours, and different things like that. You know, agents, all agents are not good salespeople. Okay, they're just not. And all agents are not good agents. Okay, so the thing is, in this modern real estate environment, where agents really need to understand the entire picture. They need to really understand it's not about just one deal. It's not just about one side of the transaction, but it's about the front end of the transaction when the investor buys the property, but it's also being engaged in that investment property as they're doing rehabs, or if they're going to buy it and hold it for long term, you know, locating a tenant, screening that tenant, qualifying that tenant, getting that tenant to move in to that property, okay, and then staying engaged with that investor. And then there's going to be a time where that tenant may move out and the investor may want to sell the property. There might be where the investor wants to find another tenant. And so, you know, so it's all about relationships, and it's all about, you know, being connected, and it's all about staying in front of the investor's needs and the investor's wants. Because as you can stay in front of their needs and their wants, and you can show them that you are consistent and you are a specialist in this particular area, you know, that's how you're going to build a trust with them, and you're going to become their trusted resource. So, you know, the modern real estate agent is somebody that provides a full service and stays engaged with the real estate investor throughout the project for long term. This is all, you know, building relationships for 2013, 2014, 2015. You know, so these are long-term relationships. 2012 is coming up, and it's coming up fast, and it's just right around the corner. So what you have to do is you have to practice, and you have to put into use the things for 2012 and cultivate these relationships in 2012 and take them into 2013, 14, and 15. And you can make a lot of money by simply being engaged with the real estate investor. Okay, so the goal is not to have 100 of these real estate investors. The goal is to have 5 to 10 qualified investors that are constantly buying stuff through you as the real estate agent. Okay, slide number 7. How to get started. How to get started, slide 7. Begin recording now. How to get started, strategy number 1. Okay, all of us have to start with the end game in mind. So if you look at everything that goes around us, what I consider, life is a game, and some people play the game extremely well, and some people don't. But start with the end game in mind. What is the end game in mind? Why do you, as a real estate agent, want to work with real estate investors? Okay, so what is the end game in mind? So start from the end. So the way I look at it is, so for example, individual, their end game might be December 2012. They want to be able to achieve an income of $200,000. Okay, so if the $200,000 is the end game, then you start backwards. How much do I have to do every quarter? So there's 4 quarters in a year, and so if you take 4 divided by $200,000, you got your quarterly amount. Then you take that amount and you divide it by 30 days, and then you got your daily goal, and then you divide it by month. You got your monthly goals, but you have to have the end game in mind, and you have to have goals in mind. So start with the end game in mind, but also start with knowing your local marketplace. Know your community, know your area. Understand your local market trends. Start with you. Okay, start with you. Without you, none of this stuff is possible. Without you, this is just another coaching call or a coaching webinar, and that's it. But if you don't start with you and you don't turn it on, then it's just going to go from one ear to another, and that's it, and it'll be wasted, and you'll waste your time and your money. So my objective is to encourage and to show real estate agents on how to really thrive in the real estate market, even though the media and the newspaper and all these different folks are saying that the economy is bad, is terrible, there's no jobs, but you know what? People are buying real estate. They will always buy real estate regardless of the economy, regardless of what's going on. There's always people out there with money. You got to be able to tap into that resource. And the people with the money are only going to deal with power players. So you have to become a power player, and the way you do that is start with yourself. Start knowing your local trends and your local marketplaces. And you have to explain, why you're really doing this. What is your goal? What is your story? Why are you really doing this? And be clear with yourself. Okay, and then from there, what we do is we start with the blueprint. It's step by step, month by month, quarter by quarter. You break it down into small pieces, kind of just like the way you eat a large elephant. How do you eat a large elephant? It's basically bite by bite by bite. So inch by inch, anything is a cinch. Yard by yard, it is so hard. So I got that from Les Brown. So inch by inch, anything is a cinch. Yard by yard, it's so hard. So basically what that means is, take steps, but take baby steps, and take good solid steps, and just keep being consistent and keep moving, and you'll get there. So start with a well-defined, thought out, step-by-step, customized blueprint for your success, just for you. So the goal and objective here is you. You are the agent. You are the person. You are the one that matters. So you have to look at you as the only source that's going to allow you to succeed. So the more you invest in yourself, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more time you take out for yourself, and the better you become. Nobody could take that away from you. So again, I'll give you a small little story about if you look at James LeBron, and you look at Kobe Bryant, you look at Michael Jordan, you look at all these different singers and athletes. They sacrifice a whole lot of stuff. It's not always glamour and money and success. They have put a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of energy into themselves for them to get and achieve the success and the goals that they are experiencing. So the same thing with you. It is no different. Start with the end game in mind, and then work on your game every single day. Work on your game every single week. Work on your game every single month. Work on you. Okay, so that's basically strategy number one on how to get started. So get started today. Get started now. So tomorrow's not promised. So look at what you actually have to work with, and work with it. And don't worry about what you do not have. We don't have all the right tools. We don't have all the right knowledge. But what we have is what we have. Work with it. Take advantage of it. And make it perfect. Okay? Work with what you have. Okay, so pause. Slide number 8. How to get started. Strategy number 2. Okay, slide number 8. How to get started. Strategy number 2. Lead with your uniqueness. Lead with your uniqueness. Okay. Each one of us have our own uniqueness. Each one of us has our own unique talent. Each one of us has our own unique voice, our own unique experiences, our own unique stories. Okay. Each one of us are very unique in our own ways. So start with your uniqueness. Understand what that is and build on it. And show that to people. Let people experience your uniqueness. And then show the real estate investor how your uniqueness is going to be able to make them money, and how you're going to be able to bring them more deals, and then how you're going to be able to help turn their investment one at a time, two at a time, but you have to build up to that. Okay, so start with your uniqueness, start with the benefits, and create the value that you bring to the investor. Create the investor relationships. Okay, show them why they should work with you, and you know, what you do is also, you know, practice with your mom, practice with your dad, practice with your husband, your wife, practice with your son, practice with your daughter, but create a unique package, create your investor package, and present it to your broker, present it to your colleagues, present it to different people, and say, hey, what do you think? Get feedback, ask for feedback, and keep tweaking your game. Okay, start with you and lead with your uniqueness. That's strategy number 2 in terms of how to get started today. And you don't need to run out and buy any more videos and materials and different things. You already have the burning desire, the passion, the excitement, the love for the game in you. It's just a matter of bringing it out to the surface and allowing other people to experience your uniqueness. Pause. Slide number 9. To successfully work with real estate investors, have a great understanding of the local market, trends, communities, and schools. Know how to secure investors and sell properties fast. You need to know 2 things. Slide number 9, retake. Slide number 9, begin now, record. Slide number 9, stop. Slide number 9, record. To successfully work with real estate investors, have a great understanding of the local markets, the local trends, the local communities, the local school districts. Know your backyard, know your area. Know how to secure investors and sell their properties fast. Okay, you need you need 2 key things. Slide number 9, retake. Slide number 9, begin. To successfully work with real estate investors, have a great understanding of the local market, the local trends, the local communities, and the local school districts. How to secure investors and sell properties fast. You need to know 2 things. So as we have been going over the different strategies, so real estate investors are basically looking for the movement of their money. So what that means is the movement of money. So look at it like this. So if you get a bag of money, if the bag of money is just sitting still in one place for 10 years and it's not moving, it's just sitting still, well, you know, it's not going to do much. It's not. But if you move the money from one bag from one spot to another spot to another spot, but each time you move it, you gain 10%, you gain 15%, you gain 12%, you gain 18%, you gain 7%. But each time you move it, you're gaining something. Okay, so the movement of money is what makes money. So these real estate investors, you know, they're looking to move their money securely. So you got to keep in mind, a lot of wealth has been lost between 2006 to 2011. A lot of people's 401ks have diminished, and some of them have been totally wiped out. People have lost their pension plans. Businesses and companies that were holding people's retirement have filed bankruptcy and gone under. States and localities have filed bankruptcy. You have Pennsylvania that just filed bankruptcy. So there's a lot of lost wealth that has taken place in the last 5 years. So investors are very cautious and very careful, and so therefore they heavily rely on good real estate agents that know what they're doing, and real estate agents that are able to provide the right necessary due diligence in a very complete, comprehensive packet that investors are looking for, so they could make quick, fast decisions that makes overall sense, and why they should consider investing. So keep in mind, the movement of money is what makes money for the investors. So the movement of money is what makes money. So speed of implementation. So what that means is speed of implementation means move their money fast, get it back to them with the return, and they will reinvest. Get it back to them, they will reinvest. So find them a property, be engaged, be involved, sell their property, get their money back to them, show them another property, find them another property. So that will allow you to build a good, solid relationship with these investors. And keep in mind, you do not need 100 of these guys. You only need, you can start off with one, and then eventually get yourself a second investor and a third investor. But that right there will keep you busy, and you could easily, in this particular market, make over 6 figures of income if you do the things that I am talking about. And you have to keep in mind, I am an investor. I have been an investor all of my life. I have bought companies, I've sold companies, I've bought real estate, buildings, land, all kinds of stuff. So what I look for is what I'm telling you. I'm looking for agent that knows how to save me time, to save investors time, and save us the headache and the pain of doing our own due diligence. So I'm teaching you and showing you and educating you on, on the other side of the fence, what investors talk about. When we're meeting, I'm involved in a lot of coaching programs and brainstorm sessions and think tanks and different environments. So I talk to all kinds of investors, and I hear and I listen to their complaints and their issues and their concerns, and I listen to what they're looking for, what their needs are, what their requirements are. And so basically that is what that has basically got me to create this webinar, so I could pass this information on to you guys. Now keep in mind that I'm just giving you the real stuff that really takes place in the cigar bars, in the private clubs, in the different meeting environments that we talk about, that investors talk about, in terms of what we need and what we're looking for. So I'm actually teaching and expressing and explaining the actual needs out here in the marketplace today, as of December 2011. And a lot of these needs will continue in 2012, 13, and 14. So invest in yourself, believe in yourself, work on your game, practice and practice and practice, and present a nice, clean, well thought out package. Slide 10. Stop and pause. Slide 10. 2 big mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 1, being inconsistent. So here, again, the biggest mistake that I've seen and I have experienced, and I've been around, again, with thousands and hundreds of different people over the last 18, 19 years of my life, being in this business, being in this environment, working with different people, being a coach, being a mentor, being a student of the game and learning the game, and is agents are not consistent. So being inconsistent is the biggest mistake, is one of the the largest mistakes. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so for example, let's say, let me give you a story. Let's say investor A, his name is Bob Jones. So Bob Jones meets with an agent named Sally. So Sally provides him a great investor package the first time, and she puts all the proper due diligence. She does the CMA. She breaks it down to the most accurate information within the community that's available in the market for that investor. And then so she sells his property. Great. So now it comes to the next property, the next investment property the investor wants to buy, and she doesn't do the same exact thing. She does everything, but she leaves out, instead of doing 3 CMAs, she does 2. Instead of being cautious with her research and their due diligence, she starts to overlook certain things and becomes a little bit sloppy and inconsistent. And so the investor looks at the package, Bob Jones, and he makes a few comments and says, hey, you know, go back and redo this and come back with this information, or whatever the case is. She fixes her mistakes, and she comes back and she provides the package. So the investor goes ahead and buys the property. Okay. So, but now this time, the agent is not as engaged in property number 2 as she was in property number 1. Whereas in property number 1, the agent went out, made videos, took pictures, made flyers, walked around the neighborhood, started promoting the property before the property was even completed, found a buyer as soon as they were done with the project. So there was a lot of stuff that the agent did the first time around. The second time around, there were a lot of little things that the agent did not do. So therefore, the investor, he picked up on that. You know, Bob Jones looking at it, he says, okay, wait a minute, she's not out, she hasn't taken any photos, she hasn't walked around the neighborhood, she hasn't brought anybody over. We've already been in this project for 4 weeks now, and we're about to be done. So being inconsistent is one of the big mistakes, and that's how you could lose a lot of your deals. That's how you could lose a lot of your relationships. That's how you could ruin everything that you have worked for to create your relationship with the real estate investor. So please be consistent and work on your inconsistencies, and make sure that you have the proper systems, the proper structure, the proper organization, and you have the right people around you to be consistent. And you know, just like you look at McDonald's, you know, Ron Crockett, you know, he had a vision for McDonald's, and if you go to Russia, you go to China, you go to India, you go to Europe, you know, a Big Mac is a Big Mac. Fries are fries. So being consistent is a huge thing. And mistake number 1 is the fact that most people over time become inconsistent. Slide number 11. Mistake number 2. Slide number 11, retake. Slide number 11, begin now. 2 big mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 2, pretending that you know more than you do. So pretending that you know more than you do. This is a huge mistake that a lot of people make, not just agents, but just in the business community and just in the environment of entrepreneurs and big thinkers. You know, a lot of people exaggerate. A lot of people blow things out of proportion. So, you know, pretending that you know more than you do, you may get away with it once, twice, but eventually it will catch up to you, because it will show up in your delivery. It will show up when you're ready to present. It will show up when you're ready to provide the complete packet to the investor. So, if you don't know something, it's very easy to say, hey, you know what, I don't have the answer to that, but let me get back to you. But understand and clarify what their concern is and what their needs are, and then write it down and reiterate it and say it back to the client. Hey, let me understand this. Your needs and requirements are X, Y, Z. And then if the client said yes, and then say, okay, well, let me research this, or let me look into this, let me talk to my broker, let me talk to a few people, and let me get back to you. That is an answer that most investors out here could respect, because it's honest and it's direct, and honesty is everything in this business. Nobody likes a liar. Nobody likes somebody that over exaggerates and misuses things, and it's not truthful. You never act like you know it all, because the fact is, when you're talking and you don't know something, people will pick up on that. People will they will call you out, and they will say that you are a fake, or you are someone that is in lack of experience, and that does not know as much as you do, and therefore you lose the trust that you have built. So if I don't know something, I'll let the people know up front, and I'll let them know, hey, look, I'm going to get back to you. Let me look into this. This is a very good question. It's a situation or something that I haven't experienced. Let me talk to somebody that I have actually worked with that knows more about these things, and let me get back to you. So, and then get back to them quickly, and get back to the people with the most accurate and most current information about whatever their question or their need or their concern was. Okay, so listening to the investor's needs and requirements, and writing them down, so the investor doesn't have to repeat themselves 3 or 4 times, and write it down the first time. Write it down as they're talking. Take notes, and then reiterate and ask them, hey, make sure you are going to be working on what it is they're looking for. You got to take notes each time you speak with investors. You need to know the investor, personally. You got to get to know the investor's needs and their hot points and their weak points and their pressure points personally. So you really got to engage in a very good relationship, and that's how you're going to build the trust. And it's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay, because nobody knows everything. So I'm going to give you a small little story, a small little example. Okay, so I had an agent that I worked with on one of my deals, one of my properties. The agent was extremely eager, extremely excited, extremely eager, very hungry, that wanted to do business with me, for some time. Kept calling me, kept engaging me, ran into different events. He was there. So, I told him, I said, okay, so one day, I said, sure, here's what I'm looking for, here's my criteria, here's what I need. and here's where I'm looking at. So I hadn't spoke to that agent. He had never called me back. So once he got my information, I hadn't heard from him for like almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks went by, and then so I ran into him at an event, and I spoke with him. He had totally forgot about what I was looking for. He totally forgot where he put my notes, put my information. He was so eager. He was calling on, 100 to 150 of these investors every single day, because he was so eager to get started, and he was inconsistent with his performance. So eventually, I told him, I said, look, you've called me for like, months and months to try to get in front of me, and here I actually give you an opportunity, give you a deal to work on, and you dropped the ball. Dropped the ball, didn't get back to me, was not consistent with what he had indicated in his story, in terms of what he had promised me and what he would do for me as an investor. So again, overpromise, underdeliver, not being consistent, being inconsistent, being over eager, and not doing the proper due diligence, and not getting back to the customer, the investor, in a timely manner. Okay, those are a lot of the mistakes that I see a lot of the real estate agents out there making on a regular basis. So being inconsistent and pretending that you know more than you do, and over promising and under delivering, those are huge mistakes for ruining a perfect relationship that could make you six-figure income and more. Slide number 12. Pause. Slide number 12. Start in a niche that works. Start in a niche that works. Engage slide number 12, stop. Slide number 12. Start in a niche that works. Okay, what this means is start in a niche that works. Okay, all of us, every single one of us, as a real estate investor or a real estate agent, all of us are looking for a niche that works. Okay, so the thing is, every one of us has some sort of uniqueness within us. Every single one of us has our own different voice, our own different experience, our own different stories, our own different capabilities of what we could do, what we can do, and each one of us has already built up a certain amount of confidence and a certain amount of experience and expertise in our local marketplace. So we don't all have to start from the bottom. You don't have to always start from the bottom. You just have to look at what you already have. Look at your skills that you already have now, and then figure out how you could apply those skills that you currently already have And you would realize some of those skills are a niche that can work for you. Yet each one of us are different, and that is a wonderful thing that God has done. You know, God created all of us in our own uniqueness, in our own experiences, giving us our own different experiences. So we all have something to offer in our own unique way. So you don't have to start all over. You don't have to start from the bottom. You can start with who you are, what you know, what you understand, and work with that. And take a piece of paper and write it down. What is your niche? What is your uniqueness? You know, just let it brainstorm. Let it come out. Let it naturally just flow. And then from there, take your top of 3 different uniqueness and your niches and work on them and become a specialist. Become a very sharp pencil or a very sharp knife in that particular niche, in that particular uniqueness, and let that be your shining star. Let that be your avenue of opening up doors and showing people what your niche is and how it works and how it could work for them by you investing your time and energy into their project. Slide number 13. Pause. Slide number 13. Begin now. The new way of marketing to real estate investors. One big idea will change your business forever. Okay, so let me read that again. The new way of marketing to real estate investors. One big idea will change your business forever. So what this particular slide here that we're talking about is, you know, introducing key ideas and your skill sets and providing your uniqueness and your niche in a well thought out bio, well thought out document to show the real estate investor how you are going to be able to work with them and the benefits that you will be able to create for them and the value that you are going to be bringing to this relationship. So the way you're going to be able to do that is in many different ways. So with the real estate and technology, you know, between the environment that we're in, they're so fast of movement. It's like speed of lightning, of knowledge and information every single day. People want information now. So between Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Craigslist, between the texting, the real investment club meetings, your church, your school, your co-workers, you know, you have to let everybody know what you do, what you could offer, what you are good at, and just one big idea, just one idea out of all of those things could change your business forever. So marketing to real estate investors is, you know, is just talking, basically just explaining to people about the local market, the local trends, the history of real estate, where the history is, where it's going, and you can do that in so many different ways in today's environment with technology, the way technology is, and the social media, and with everything that is out there in this particular market. Slide 14. Slide 14. Resume recording. Slide 14. A lifetime student. Crave knowledge. Love life. Be curious. Never stop growing. Share your knowledge. Hire a personal coach. So this particular slide, the reason this particular slide is in there, all of us are lifetime students. All of us, if you look at from the time that we're actually go to kindergarten, the time that we're actually born, we're always learning, we're always curious, we're always growing, right? So, I love learning. I love knowledge. I love growing. I love being around people that like to invest in themselves, that like to grow and prosper. I love life. I thank God for everything that I have, and I thank God every day for what I've been able to achieve. Okay, so the way I look at things is each day to me is like a new game, right? Each day to me is like a new game. It's like a game that I've been playing for years, and I practice. And by God actually waking me up and giving me another day, it allows me to practice more and keep growing and keep learning and meeting new people. So, and life is also is all about a mental game. It's all about having the right attitude, the right mindset, what goes in, garbage in, garbage out type of stuff. So you got to think, and you got to be a strong-minded and strong character, and it's all mental. So, read something new each day. Research an area that might be new. I've been basically slide 14 pause. Slide 14 pause. Slide 14 continue. Slide 14. A lifetime student. Crave knowledge. Love life. Be curious. Never stop growing. Share your knowledge. Hire a personal coach. So listen. Okay. Learning is what I want to call is pause 14, stop, slide 14. Slide 14, a lifetime student. Crave knowledge, love life, and be curious. Never stop growing. Share your knowledge and hire a personal coach. So here, basically, the way I look at this is all of us are lifetime students. We're always learning, we're always growing, but we're always adapting. Hold on, slide 14, pause. Slide 14, pause. Hello everybody, and welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sid Hameed. I am the owner of Brickfront Properties. Just to give you a little bit of a story of my background. Hey, I've been in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area all of my life. I've done all my schooling here. I have all my friends and family here. I know this area like the back of my hand, from Washington, D.C. to Virginia to Maryland. I've actually lived in all of these different locations. I grew up in Arlington, Virginia. I went to school there. Then I moved to Washington, D.C., lived there for a few years. And then I got married and then came out here over here to Prince George's area in Bowie, Maryland. So my office currently is in Largo, Maryland. And I've been in business for over 20-some years, 22, 23 years. And all I've done is basically build businesses and get them to a point where I could sell them or liquidate them. And I've gotten into real estate at a young age. My brothers and I, we bought our first property in the 80s, and then from there we put our money together and bought another property, and then another property, and then eventually it became a business, like a small business. And then from there, somebody had to manage them and take care of the tenants and take care of the toilets and the issues with evictions and different things. Well, since I always have been a hands-on type of guy, and so I took on the responsibility of the property management, dealing with the rents, and dealing with the tenants. So I enjoyed that, and from there I just grew my passion. I actually tried to get my real estate license in 1984, 1985. I failed the exam multiple different times, and finally I just gave up. I said, forget it, I'm not doing this. I was a loan officer for about 5 or 6 years when the rates were like 14, 15, 22%. And then the rates started coming back down, and I was doing mortgage refinancing. So I was taking people from at 14% all the way down to like 8%, 7%, 6%. As the rates were dropping, I would actually refinance people 2 or 3 different times the same client. So that was a good run. And then later on in my career, I joined my brother over at Computer World Services. So where I was basically doing government IT, sales, and marketing, and running the operations. So we took that company to multi-million dollars. We were a Cisco Silver partner, and then we were a Microsoft Gold partner. We had a relationship with Compaq and Dell, as well as Oracle and Sun. And so we did a large amount of government contracting work around the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. And then eventually we became a certified securities clearance company, where we had engineers that had top secret clearance in different areas. And that allowed me to keep learning and growing and understanding business, understanding accounting, understanding marketing, understanding the importance of hiring the right people, but also understanding the importance of firing people as we need to. Because, you know, the thing about business, it's always evolving, it's always changing, it's always new things, it's exciting, it's fun, but you really got to have the passion for it. I actually haven't worked for anybody since I was probably 16, 17 years old. I was working at Chi-Chi's as a cook, and then a dishwasher and a busboy. But after that, I just got my entrepreneur experience and did a lot of different things. But I really enjoy working for myself and doing what I like to do and how I like to spend my time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about I'm going to go to slide 2 here. And we're going to talk about how to work with the real estate investors who buy or sell 10 or more properties a year. So a blueprint and training to a successful relationship with investors. So this particular presentation is geared towards real estate agents who currently do not understand the mechanism and what it takes to work with real estate investors. So in today's economy, in December of 2011, the activity that is taking place, when I look at the National Association of Realtors, and I look at the quarterly reports and the monthly reports in terms of sales and activity and who's buying what, most of the activity that's taking place in our market today is coming from the real estate investors. A lot of these guys are buying stuff for long-term hold, and there's also a lot of rehabbers that are buying and flipping properties. Okay, so real estate agents need to really understand and how to create relationship with any investor and how to show your value as an agent. Why should a real estate investor work with you? Who are you? What is your experiences? What is your background? What can you do for that real estate investor? you got to keep in mind, every single agent out here is trying to survive in this particular economy, in this particular market trend. But if you got to know how to present your information to the real estate investor so they can look at you as somebody that they would want to build and cultivate a relationship with. So they have to have trusted information. So when you do your due diligence as a real estate agent, you have to know the community. You have to know your backyard. You have to understand your local market. You have to understand what is happening in your local market. Okay, as you understand your backyard, and then you're able to talk with confidence and be able to present, some very true facts in today's current market with current stats to show that real estate investor why they should buy this property and what they could do with the property. And they could buy it or hold it, they could buy it or flip it or rehab it. So there's different things, but you have to show and paint a picture to the real estate investor how this particular opportunity can be beneficial for them. Okay? So we're going to go into more details and stuff like that. They tell me I talk too much, but here's some of the notes that I've written that I like to share with you guys. Okay, so one of the things we're going to do is do a blueprint and a training to show you how to create successful relationship with investors. For real estate agents to create a relationship with any investor is to show your value as an agent, show your knowledge of the current local marketplaces as the best agent to work with, to show them why you are the best agent to work with. The reason I say local, because that is all that really matters to real estate investors. If they want to know that you understand your community, they want to know you understand what you're pushing, what you're selling, what you're promoting. Okay, so know your markets, know your communities, know your school districts, know your backyard. Investors want to deal with agents who understand their local marketplaces from a government perspective, from a large developer perspective, from in terms of if there's new roads, if there's a Hyatt or a Hilton or a Whole Foods or a new shopping center or something new and large that's coming to the area that's going to spurt job creation, that's going to bring income to the city or the state. Okay, so these are important facts that you as an agent need to know about. So when you talk to these investors, you want to come across with the power and the knowledge that you have done your due diligence. You know this area, and you are the expert for this particular area. Okay? So the benefits of why the investor should do business with you, you have to show them the value and create the relationship to do business in this particular area. This is where the agents have to provide trends of the local market taking place in today's market conditions, and also show the last 6, 12, or 18 months of trends in the historics to show where the market was and how the market is improving and which pockets of area. Okay, so you want to be able to understand trends, understand historics, and be able to provide the information and know how to read the charts. This will show the investors that you, as the agent, are a specialist in the area. Investors are looking for smart, fast, intelligent information so that they can make fast, quick decisions, but they want to make sure they have a trusted resource. They have a trusted person. So when you do your CMAs and you do your comps and you provide the information, they want to make sure that information is coming from a trusted source so they can make fast decisions. And so kind of look at it like a stockbroker. So a stockbroker calls somebody about a particular hot tip. Well, he knows something about that particular tip. That's why he's trying to push it. So as an agent, you as the agent, you need to become that trusted source, that trusted individual for that investor. And as you do it in a repeatedly way, you do it once, twice, 3, 4 times, well, the investor is not going to go anywhere. The investor is going to build a relationship with you as their particular agent for the long term. And keep in mind, most of these investors are buying 3, 5, 10, 12 properties a year. Okay, so, and you want to be the agent to do all the transactions on the front end as well as the back end. Okay, so how do you do it? How do you do it, and what is it going to take? Okay, so how do you do it is basically by knowing your markets, knowing your communities, understanding your local government, knowing what they're working on, understanding the large projects that are taking place in the community, see if there's any large stores like a Walmart or large development that's like a Whole Foods or different places that are coming in. And keep in mind that most of these investors, okay, they don't know the area as well as you do. So they're going to be counting on you to give them the knowledge, the expertise, and to show them the neighborhood. Okay, so so now we're going to go to slide 3, and we're going to stop here, and we're going to go to slide 3. So slide 3 is here. And slide 3 here, we're going to talk about the new real estate reality. Okay, that's slide 3, the new real estate reality. Okay, so you cannot make money in the past. So only in the future, these days, with on online internet marketing, the world has a lot closer using online internet marketing. Speed. Okay, stop slide 3 and start slide 3 over. Okay, so slide 3, the new real estate reality. Okay, so this is where, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about what is currently happening in real estate today. So, there's been a lot of talks about shadow inventory. There's been a lot of talks about a lot of demand that's still untapped, that's going to hit the marketplace in 2012 and 2013. So some people are saying, 2 million, some people are saying 4 million homes of inventory that's still stuck is going to be released over the next 12 to 24 months. Okay, so the real estate reality, okay, you cannot make money in the past. Okay, so whatever's done is done. But what you can do is you can learn from the past. You could grow from the past. You could see what happened and avoid the same, avoid things in the future from the things that did take place in the past. So looking at the future, okay, looking at where the future is heading and where investors are buying and how investors are buying and how agents are conducting business. Most of this activity is being done using the internet. Okay, so the internet world is a huge marketplace, and what the internet does is it allows us to speed up. It allows us to speed up a lot of the communication through video emails, through the text messaging, through webinars, through seminars, through different applications that the Androids have these days. So today's world, you as the agent, all the investors have to rely on fast, accurate information on the different investment opportunities, and the agents have to create investor packages ready to go for signature. Okay. I'm going to pause here.